Good morning everyone. Version 3.8.0 of the Autoclicker just released with some new features. I'm going to go over them today, but before we do that, if you have not yet installed the Autoclicker, you can go to either my website, which is linked down in the description, autoclicker.blur009.com, and download it from there, or download it from GitHub. The entire code is open source, and Microsoft has verified that it is not malware. Alright, now let's get into it. The version upgrade from version 3.7.0 to 3.7.2 introduced a lot of issues. I have had many bug reports for many annoying issues, and I hope that some of them are fixed in version 3.8.0. But if you're encountering any issues, I would appreciate if you go to my Discord or to GitHub and make a bug report for the issue. If the bug is something that impacts you a lot, I recommend downgrading to version 3.7.0 on GitHub. Now for the updates. Here is the major change that I probably also teased in the thumbnail. By clearing the memory every about 30 seconds, I have managed to reduce the overall footprint of RAM from the Autoclicker from about 140 megabytes to 40 megabytes on my machine. Now, I'm not sure how much this differs per machine, and I'm also not sure if it's going to introduce any performance problems for you. So, if you're having any stutters or any weird feelings with the Autoclicker, or a high CPU usage or something like that, please report that to me on my Discord. But yes, this makes the Autoclicker way more viable to run in the background, because after the Autoclicker has not done anything for a while, the RAM usage can get as low as 20 megabytes, I think I've seen it, which that is the minimum that I can go with Tauri. I'm constantly working on improving the RAM usage, but at some point I'm limited by my tools. As for the next big feature, you can now use background images and GIFs from local files and web files. So if you right-click on an image on the web and go to copy image address and then paste it in, you can see that picture as a background. In addition to that, there is some small settings to tweak how it looks, but that feature was requested a lot and I hope you enjoy it. Please keep in mind though that this does very slightly increase RAM usage, and if it is a GIF, then it is constantly running in the background, meaning it is taking some more GPU resources. But the impact should be minimal. Another feature that has been added in 3.8.0 is that when you Alt-Tab, it should automatically stop the Autoclicker, which should help a lot of you to not click on a random window. This setting can of course be toggled off in the settings under App Behavior. The third and last big feature that we got in this version is whitelist and blacklist for processes. You can either select a process to be added to the whitelist, which means that you can only click or activate the Autoclicker within that process. Switching to another process or trying to activate the Autoclicker while still tabbed into another process disables the Autoclicker automatically. When you're in blacklist, it is the exact opposite. Everything you put into this list will not be able to be clicked on, but everything else will. Next, I added a little button to clear the hotkey out of the hotkey field. This isn't a huge change, but it's nice. Another change that isn't huge but very nice is that I have finally gotten to swap around the on and off toggles in the settings. They have been reversed for many versions, and I have finally fixed it. I always forgot to do it. If you appreciate what I have done and appreciate that I am doing more and more updates for the software for free, you can go to my Ko-Fi and donate. Thank you very much, and here are the top donators of the last 90 days. Of course, also thank you to Task Program for subscribing to my Ko-Fi. There's many smaller changes and bug fixes that hopefully increase the quality of the program, and I am far from done. There's a lot of things in the recent few days that I've thought of that would be incredible if I can manage to put them into the software, but keep in mind that that might take a lot of work. Some of these things are pretty advanced, so expect these features to roll out slowly and expect some things to inevitably break. Remember that you can always go to the GitHub and go back 1 or 2 versions to where everything worked fine. But if you do that, please also report that you had an issue. Otherwise, if I don't know that an issue exists, I can't really fix it. I also want to address the macro side of things. Many people still ask me to do macros, and I think I have changed my mind a little bit on this. While I still don't really want the autoclicker to become a macro, I realize that the work that I have already done is a lot, and building up on what I have already done to make a macro out of what I have currently would likely be simpler than implementing a macro program from zero up. The only issue being that with the nature of the current code being open source, I can't really make that program paid. The work that would go into making the current autoclicker into a macro software is still a lot. And so I am not sure if it is worth my time and money. I have to be able to afford things, and I would appreciate to at least be able to make a minimum wage out of the things that I do. And so working for free forever just seems like I'm heading in the wrong direction. But that is everything. Remember to support me if you can, and have a beautiful day.